Good afternoon, and I apologize for being late. We had very interesting discussions, not least on ice hockey, I can say. Let me say first, I'm very pleased to receive the Governor General of Canada, Mr. David Johnston, and his delegation here in Sweden. I appreciate our country's friendship and excellent bilateral relations. I see the potential to expand our cooperation even further, and I believe that this state visit can lay a foundation also for new partnerships in the future. The theme of this four-day state visit is innovative, inclusive, and sustainable societies, which also set the agenda for our meeting today. Our discussion focused on innovation, trade, and our commercial relations, migration, but also social inclusion. The comprehensive economic and trade agreement between the European Union and Canada provides us with an excellent platform to develop our bilateral economic ties, and I look forward to the treaty's provisional application and to the jobs it will create in both Sweden and Canada. Our two countries also place gender equality at the core of the political agenda. We are like-minded in many global issues. Finally, we mutually agree that ice hockey is very important, but I can say, however, that the discussions regarding which country's team is the best one is still to be resolved, still ongoing, and will undoubtedly also be a subject of conversation during coming meetings. Once again, Governor General, you're more than welcome. Please.
Well, thank you, Prime Minister, and I too want to apologize for keeping you waiting. And the Prime Minister has given you an indication of why we kept you waiting, because we got talking about ice hockey. And I was asked by one of your colleagues that which Canadian team do you expect to win the Stanley Cup, the championship of the National Hockey League this year? And I said the team that has the most Swedish players will clearly do it. You come from a town, of course, that produces outstanding players, Peter Forsberg being one, Henry and Daniel Sadin, the twins who have played with the Vancouver Canucks, and so we count on you to continue to send those outstanding players, one of whom is part of our delegation. Is Daniel Alfredsson with us in the gallery? Daniel will be with us tomorrow. Daniel was a great Swedish player who was the captain of the Ottawa Senators team and led us to much glory. Let me start by thanking Their Majesties King Carl Gustaf XVI and Queen Sylvia for inviting my wife Sharon and myself to Sweden for the state visit. We're simply thrilled to be here in this wonderful country. I also want to thank my friend, the Prime Minister, for the opportunity to meet and discuss the Canada-Sweden relationship. Our discussion was warm, and very productive, but that's what you'd expect when Swedish people and Canadian people get together. Ours is a very unique and rich and deep relationship, and we're so delighted to be able to be here to reinforce that particular relationship. This is the first official day of our four-day visit to Sweden. We're overwhelmed by the gracious hospitality and the warmth that Swedes have shown for Canada. We're very proud to be joined by an outstanding delegation, a diverse delegation, talented, dedicated Canadians, including the Honourable Kirsty Duncan, our Minister of Science. All of our delegates share our goal of strengthening the collaboration between our two countries. We're also joined by our most recent Nobel Prize winner in physics, Dr. Arthur MacDonald, who was here just about a year ago to receive the Nobel Prize in physics, and we're so proud of him and that particular award. Sharon et moi sommes heureux d'être en compagnie d'une délégation exceptionnelle de Canadiens dévoués qui cherchent à renforcer la collaboration entre le Canada et la Suède. We're looking forward to becoming acquainted with this beautiful country and to meeting with the Swedish people here in Stockholm, in Malmö, Lund, and Gothenburg. Canada and Sweden, as the Prime Minister said, have an enduring friendship anchored in our people-to-people ties and our many, many shared values and interests. Our ties are long-standing, they're extensive in trade, innovation, culture, Arctic issues, education, foreign policy. I could go on. But why are we undertaking this visit now? In a word, opportunity. A window of opportunity is opening which will allow us to work together in new and exciting ways. We're entering a moment that is primed for partnership, including trade. In a rapidly changing world, the Canada-Sweden relationship matters more than ever. Areas of particular potential include research and innovation, diversity, and inclusion, sustainability, and clean technology development. Already we enjoy a strong base of cooperation upon which to build, and we're looking forward to seeing some firsthand examples of that in the next several days. So innovation, inclusivity, sustainability, these are the themes that will guide our visit to Canada. Thank you once again, Prime Minister, for welcoming us to your great country and for being such a great friend and partner of Canada. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Karen McGettigan. I have the honor of being the only Canadian journalist here today. And I live in Sweden, so I have a love for both countries. We heard Prime Minister Trudeau say much of what you said today, sir, that we have a very warm friendship between Canada and Sweden, and we share a lot in common in terms of innovation, sustainability, and inclusivity. If Canada and Sweden share this already, what is left to learn? So specifically, what can Canada offer Sweden, and in turn, what does Sweden hope to give Canada?
Well, first, yes, we do share a lot of common interests. We just discussed integration and how do we receive people from other countries, for example, which we share the interest of helping, but we also see the challenges, of course. And in that respect, yes, we can learn from Canada with Canada's experience on how to do that. So we can share on that. We can share innovation, where we both have a huge interest. But of course, saying that another country cannot learn, you cannot learn anything from another country would be stupid. So I'm more than pleased to note that we share this interest, and we know, yes, that we can learn a lot from Canada in all these different subjects that we discussed.
And vice versa. Minds like parachutes work best when open.
Yes.
Question for Prime Minister Stefan Lövin. What's your comment on President Donald Trump's latest tweet today and his earlier statement in Florida about the Swedish immigration policy?
Let me put it like this. I was, like many others, I believe, surprised by the comments made about Sweden this weekend. Sweden, like many other countries, we face huge opportunities as well as challenges. I believe that goes for every country in the world. 2 weeks ago, I traveled around the country, and I could see people's worry, listen to people's worry, but also people's expectations and their dreams. And we have challenges, no doubt about that, but those are the ones that we're working with hard every day. That's why we are investing a lot in Sweden. We're investing in new housing, in new technology, in innovation, in our welfare system. And that is to meet, of course, these challenges. But we also have opportunities. Do not forget that in international rankings, in issues such as equality, human development, competitiveness, we, like our guest today from Canada, are doing very well. So yes, we have opportunities, we have challenges, we're working with them every day, but I think also we must all take responsibility for using facts correctly and for verifying any information that we spread.
Yeah, first a question for Governor General Johnston. How important do you think the CETA deal is for Canada when President Trump wants to renegotiate NAFTA? And I also would like to know, how do you think Sweden should react to Donald Trump's criticism?
Our Prime Minister was in Washington a week ago today with a large delegation of Canadians, the first face-to-face meeting. The President and the Prime Minister issued a joint statement after that meeting, which I think set out some of the opportunities and some of the issues upon which we will work. It was a very productive day, preceded by a number of visits back and forth. And Canada's relationship with the United States, of course, is deep and broad. And we have to work hard at that and have done so for 200 years. We will continue to work very hard because of the interrelationship between the two countries. And I think that statement of last Monday indicates that we're off to a good start with the new administration.
I have a question to Prime Minister Stefan Lövin. How do you think the statements from President Trump will affect the image of Sweden internationally? And how will Sweden react to the fact that President Trump continues to criticize the immigration policy in Sweden?
Well, it's up to the president and to decide what he wants to say. I can only say the World Economic Forum states that, written, why Sweden beats other countries at just about everything. OECD reports that we have a very strong economic development in terms of, for example, GDP per capita. The European Commission states that Sweden is Europe's most innovative country. The Global Innovation Index says Sweden is number 2 when it comes to innovative countries. So we have some very strong facts that shows that Sweden is also handling a situation. But as I said, yes, we have challenges like all other countries. There's no doubt we have a situation in the world where 65 million people had to flee the countries last year or the year before that. 65 million. So that's a word for us together. And that is why Canada and Sweden also, we co-hosted this seminar, this meeting, the summit that President Obama at the time were hosting. We co-hosted that because we saw this as a task for everybody to handle. So we have opportunities, we have strength, and we have challenges as well, like everybody else. And we'll tackle them every day. We work hard every day because we want to develop the strongest possible society that we can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The world needs more Swedens.
And Canadians.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Pleasure.